Hello, good evening. What a day it's been. Now, I hope that you all managed to get outside because the sun down here in the south was lovely and bright today. It was chilly, but there was still plenty of sun to give us that vital vitamin D, to keep our serotonin levels up and ward off the winter blues and symptoms of SAD. So I'm really pleased that I was able to get some sun because, as you all know, I do suffer or manage my symptoms of SAD, so seeing some sunshine is absolutely fabulous. Now, we're a bit late as 1 o'clock I wasn't able to broadcast because my equipment failed. I've now downloaded some super duper producer type software, and it all looks to be going swimmingly. So I will have a fiddle with that, and by next week, we'll be giving all the ITV, BBC programmes a run for their money. Now, because of this, I don't have anybody to interview, but the good news is, rather than me interviewing them via my phone on loudspeaker, with this new producer software I've got, I can actually feed in my Skype to what you're seeing, so we'll be able to have a much better interactive experience with the person that I am interviewing. So that's all good. Now, because I don't have any interviews, I'm going to take some questions, and I do have a couple of questions. And the first one is from a lady who works in an office, and she works in a very stressful office, and she just wants to know how to relieve her stress in the middle of the day when she's starting to feel anxious and tight in the chest. Now, I have to say, before we start, I have been quite stressed today. Now, if you remember last week, I told you about my the way that I wake up in the morning and come round before I have to face anybody and start the day. My morning lifestyle anchor. That went slightly amiss today. Today has been a huge disaster with anything electrical. If I tell you my Teasmade failed to go off, you will understand the gravity of the situation. I then had to go to the hospital for a checkup. It was just a checkup. I'm fine. I'll fight another day. I'll see you next week. But I went in my eldest son's car. Now, he's just come back from a war zone and is under the impression that he is indefeatable, he's immortal, and this is the way that he drives in his very fast, very loud car. So by the time I got back, and then I had all of the technical problems, I have to say I was ready to throw something out the window and go and lay in a darkened room for a little while. But I didn't. What I did was I sat down and I breathed. And you say, well, Margot, do you know what? We do that all the time. But you have to breathe and mean it when you're stressed. Now, if you're in a office full of people and you can't get away, or you have to go to the ladies' room to calm down, you're going to have to, as I say, breathe and mean it. And this is through the nose, and as you're breathing through the nose, you are pushing your stomach right out, so you are filling yourself with fresh energy, and then you are going to out, and you are going to chuck everything in that breath. Everything, all the bad stuff is coming out. In, out, 6 times. And that will release the physical tension in your body, because it's a physical tension that makes us poorly, that suppresses our immune system and doesn't help things at all. It will leave us open to coughs and colds, aches and pains, anything that we pick up will just be worse because of the stress. And of course the stress then causes more stress, and the illness causes more stress, and we go round and round and round and round and round, and everybody's stressed. Now, if you are able to go to a room on your own, or if you work at home and you're able to sit quietly, you need to be able to bring it right down and ground yourself back into your life, back into the world that you're in. So what you need to do is sit in your chair, put your feet flat on the floor, put your hands on your lap, take your 6 deep breaths, and then what you're going to do is put your hand on your pelvis. Then you're going to put one on your stomach. Then you're going to bring the one that was on the pelvis up to just under your bust. Then you're going to bring the one that was on your stomach up to your chest, up to your throat, up to your forehead, up to your head, up to your head, and out. Breathe again. 2, 3, 4, 6, and just imagine all of that energy going out, and then just bring your arms down and imagine that you're growing roots, and your roots are going into the earth, and they're burying into the earth, and they're going places, and they're going to your favourite places, and you're imagining where they're ending up, and you're grounded in your life, and your roots are going to the favourite places. And then when you feel calmer, you can bring your roots in, and again, hands up your body, and stretch out. And hopefully you should feel a bit better, a bit calmer after that. Anyway, so breathing, very, very good. And the other thing I will say about stress is it's not a badge of honour. It's not good to be stressed. I see a lot of people on social media, a lot of people who you ask about, oh, I am so stressed. Do you know what? I've got this to do. I've got that to do. I'm still working at 8 o'clock at night. I am so stressed. And they equate that with the success of themselves as a business person and their business. Well, I've got news for you. If you are still working at 8 o'clock at night, if you have been working since 8 o'clock this morning, your business is not working for you. You are not a great business person. Have a look at these celebrities, business people. I can guarantee you they're not on the office, and quite often you hear them, they're tweeting from their holiday boat home, wherever it is, and just phoning into the office to make sure things are going as they want them for an hour in the morning. If you have to work a 16-hour day, your business is not working for you. It may be making a profit, but it's not working for you. And there are always ways that you can simplify that. So, that being said, the second question that we'll deal with today is, now I'm always saying that the basis for any lifestyle changes you want to make, and just making your lifestyle and your life go a little bit smoother, is to declutter, to tidy, to organise, and make your home a solid and supportive base for whatever you want to do. So this lady says that she wants to get organised, she wants to keep things clutter free, blah de blah de blah, but her family are not taking any notice of her. What can she do? Well, in my own life, I use emotional blackmail, or a dirt grate frying pan to the back of the head for the older ones. If you sit and expect your family to help you, or you give that, you ask them in such a way as in you give them a choice not to do it, of course they're going to take that choice. You need to tell them how it's making you feel. You have to be brutally honest with them, very firm. Tell them it is making you ill. You are not happy, and all it would take is half an hour of their time to help you around the house. Don't hold back. Don't spare their feelings. They are leaving their dirty cups and they're washing, or they're leaving muddy trainers in the middle of the kitchen floor, or all the things. I mean, you have to take it as, age appropriate things that they can do. I mean, people laugh because I always say my youngest two, they do the floors. One of them has the dustpan and brush, and the other picks the big bits up before they get round, because they're closer to the floor. And then we do the jobs according to. But you don't spare their feelings, because they're not sparing yours when they leave the washing next to the laundry bin rather than in the laundry bin. Do you know what I would do? If they leave the laundry next to the laundry bin, I'm going to put it in a black bag and I'm going to put it under the stairs and tell them I've put it in the wheelie bin and shock them into it. But if they love you and you're telling them that it's you are not happy and it's making you ill, hopefully they will change. You can have little tricks, like if they come in and they're chucking their stuff on a table in the hall, take the table away. Or they're lazy and they're chucking their stuff in a box on top of some other stuff rather than take it up or whatever. Then take those areas away. But the first thing you've got to do, and the most effective way to get them to do things, is to say, look, how are we going to do this? How can you help me? Because I'm feeling ill. Every time I come through that door, I am feeling anxious, and I should be able to do the same as you're doing and sit and watch the television. So don't spare their feelings, as I say, tell them. And do you know what, sometimes I think as women, we sit there and we seethe and we think, oh, why aren't they doing that? But if you think about it, we've not actually asked them or spelled it out or told them how to do it. And children and men are just the same. You have to spell it out to them. Again, if you're going to make a schedule of jobs and put it on the fridge, you've just got to prepare yourself for the fact that at 4 o'clock you are going to have to tell your son, you have to yell at your son, it's your turn to do whatever it is, job, walk the dog, whatever. You're going to have to remind him, and you're going to have to teach yourself not to get cross that you've had to tell him. Tell yourself, do you know what? Here's the jobs, they're going to get done, but I will have to orchestrate those being done. So you're changing your mindset as well. So instead of getting cross, you think, well, okay, so somebody's going to help me, I'll pick who, and it will be done. So there we go, that's that one. Now, procrastination. It is said that 20% of the population are chronic procrastinators. I may or may not have had a gin and tonic tonight, so chronic procrastinators is pretty good going. Anyway, 20% of us are chronic at procrastinating. The rest of us just need to check our social media. It is also said that people who procrastinate are intelligent, creative, busy people. Well, yes, that's true. But even intelligent, creative, busy people need to get themselves organised, need to do things. If you are missing appointments, if you are running around doing things 5 minutes before your deadline, if you are missing deadlines, you need to get your procrastination under control. Because if you are missing deadlines, if you are running around stressed because you're close to a deadline, that all has a knock-on effect to the rest of your business and your family and your social life, and everything gets knocked out of sync. So if you're procrastinating, sort it out. And I mean that literally. I don't mean, sort it out. I mean sort it out. You have to break your life down into manageable chunks, because procrastination, on the whole, is a symptom of other things. Now, you might be the creative type whose brain works here, there and everywhere, and you basically know what you're doing. But if your life isn't functioning efficiently, then you need to break it down. It's probably you're procrastinating because you're overwhelmed. You don't know where to start. Bite-sized chunks is what you need. Now, you can go the whole hog and break your week, break your day down in hour segments, and then you are going to write in that hour, every hour, for the whole of the week, for the whole of the day, what you are going to do, even down to watching EastEnders. You have to break it right down, and you have to tell yourself, you have to change your whole mindset and tell yourself that you are going to stick to those. Now, once you've written it down, sorry, I'm having a hot flush. Once you've written it down, your whole life is going to look like a complete mess. And you sometimes, if I've got a particularly busy week, I use post-it notes, and I stick them on a page, and each post-it note is an hour. Sometimes it takes more than a page. Sometimes I have to use the dining room table, and I have to literally push things around. But these are only the things you absolutely have to do, like swimming lessons, taking the children to school, watching EastEnders, cooking the tea. These are all the things that you actually have to do. The rest of the things on your to-do list, now you've probably got a to-do list that starts up here and finishes down here somewhere. Really? That, if I don't use a to-do list anymore, but I can remember sitting on one particular day and looking at my to-do list and being so overwhelmed that I had no idea where I was going to start, that I didn't do anything. And this is what you do. This is what happens. You keep putting stuff on the end of your to-do list. Nothing's prioritised. You're picking bits out that are easy because you just can't take it all in. And as capable, intelligent as you are, your brain can't take it all in. Your brain at any one time, give or take 2, can only process 7 pieces of information at a time. Give or take 2. So this is walking into a room, noticing the colour of the carpet, maybe noting somebody else is in the room, I don't know, noticing what's on the desk, but at noticing how hot or cold it is, and these things happen in an instant. So 7, your brain recognises 7 things. So you have to train what it's going to recognise, and you have to help it out a little bit. Get rid of the to-do list. You've got your schedule. So you're going to do whatever you do in the morning. At 9 o'clock, you're going to sit at your desk. Between 9 and 1:30, you're going to look at your emails. You're not going to look at your emails again until 12:30 or whatever you've decided to do. The same with your work schedule. Now, you can work at 8 o'clock if you like, but you need to be having 2 or 3 hours off in the afternoon. So pick your hours of work around the children, around whatever you're going to do, around your social... Oh yes, around your social life, absolutely around your social life. Pick those hours of work and stick to them. Don't be picking up your laptop whilst you're trying to have your dinner or whilst you're trying to cook dinner, because the dinner's going to burn, you're going to send the email to the wrong person, you're going to get stressed, you're going to get cold, you're going to be in bed with flu for 2 weeks, your business is going to go under, your children are going to leave home, all for the sake of half an hour doing something and just doing the one thing. So, without a to-do list, what are you going to do? Well, as I say, you've got your daily tasks. That is something that you're training to do, and the more that you do it, the more you will get used to sitting down, doing your emails, doing and knowing what you've got to do. And as I say, but week by week, you can change those things around. I mean, maybe 1 week you're going to be writing, 1 week you're going to have to do something else in your business that takes priority. So that's all interchangeable. You've then got to break your to-do. A lot of people have their personal to-do list and their business to-do lists on the same thing. That just causes confusion. And if you are training yourself to be at work in those certain hours and in the hours that you have scheduled for your family, you are not going to pick up your mobile phone unless it's your son wanting a lift from wherever he is. You're not going to turn the laptop on. You are going to focus on your family and doing the nice things in life. Then you can't have your to-do list crossing over. Now, I have a little notebook. Now, this is my personal stuff. In here, I keep a note. In one end, I keep a note of my children's shoe sizes, trouser sizes. I keep a note of how big my windows are. So if I'm out and about and I see a bargain, I can instantly see whether that bargain's actually a bargain or whether I'm going to take it home, it doesn't fit, and I'm going to have to bring it back again. And the other side is my personal to-do list. And so that you do, if you need to do, obviously we all need to do household admin and pay bills and whatever, but you're going to schedule that into your week. Your business to-do list, then you've got your schedule of how you're going to work and how your life is going to run. It's then quite useful to have a paper diary, because then you can put the things that the to-do lists, if you need to phone somebody back on Tuesday, you can just write that in the paper diary. Again, you're getting rid of the big long list and you're segmenting things down. And of all those little tiny little bits and pieces that come to you during the day, and you add to your to-do list, like I don't know, filter down your Twitter followers, sort out your emailing lists, all the little things that aren't absolutely key at that moment. What I do is, as I think of them, put them again on a post-it note, and I put them in a box. And when I've got 15 minutes, if I finish one of my other tasks quickly, or I've just got 15 minutes to spare, take one of the post-it notes out of the box. I do it, I ceremoniously rip it up and chuck it in the bin and go and have a cup of tea. That's a running theme as well. I do stuff, I go and have a cup of tea. And it's done. So everything is scheduled and organised, and once you've done, it's segmented. So once you've done that, your brain kind of clears. Because once you get yourself into that way of thinking, when you knock off, 3 o'clock, I finish work and I go and pick my children up, and I don't look at my emails, I don't have my computer on. That's my time when I'm a mummy. And it took a while to train my brain not to be worrying about whether there was an email coming in. And also, because I tell people I work with that I won't be available after 3, they've stopped expecting a reply. So that again takes the worry away from me. I don't have to worry if I want to come back and do a couple of hours because there's nothing on the television in the evening. I can do that, but I don't have to, because I've already set my work hours. I've already decided how I'm going to work, and it's just training yourself to follow that. Now, I hope that makes sense. It makes sense in my head, and not having any feedback from yourselves, or from if I was in a client situation, there'd be some banter and some back and forth, and explore things a lot better. So I hope that did make sense to you, and if you can't do all of it, then cherry pick a little bit out. I just want to show you, in future broadcasts we will also, plug products from different companies. So if you've got a product that you think would be suitable, do send details to my email address, which is hello@mrsbloom.org, and we'll feature it. Now, this is my list box. Can you see that? Ooh. This is the box that I put all my little post-it notes in as I think of things, my 15-minute little bits and pieces. I know that sorting out your email list is probably going to take longer than 15 minutes. But you have to use your common sense, and you have to do what works for you. Now, this box is beautiful. I wrote a blog piece. You can find the blog, my blog, at bloomhq@blogspot.com, and I wrote a piece about the to-do box rather than to-do list, and a lady got in touch with me. Her company is called Dotty Designs, and she makes the most beautiful keepsake boxes for baby bits and pieces, for weddings, just beautiful. And she said I could make a box for the to-do list, and she did, and she personalised it for me. And I love this box. I love pretty things. If you've got pretty storage, you're going to use it. And my box, I just think, open my box, see what's in there. So that is that's the to-do list box. And that, I think, is about it for today. Please do give me the feedback. I've kind of been on the back foot, and I don't know if you can see my cheeks. I'm actually 42 and gone into early menopause because I had a hysterectomy. My youngest child, my daughter, broke me, so I had to have a hysterectomy. But after 8 children, I think I'm done with my womb anyway. But now I have this overriding urge to sweat at any opportunity, and to cry, and to mood swings, and it is hilarious. But as you can see this evening, I think probably because I've had a day out of sorts, I'm flushing. So I will leave you there, and I will, if you want me now for the next half hour, I'll be sat on the front step sweating. Other than that, if anything I've said has touched a nerve, if you don't understand, if you don't agree with it, if you want to make comment, if you want to give me your own tips, then please do get in touch with me via the social media, or hello@mrsbloom.org. And I will respond to you if it's touched you and you'd like to explore it further. On my website, mrsbloom.org, you just go into the contact page and you can schedule yourself in. So the only other thing I want to tell you about is so that's it for today. And I am going to spend the week learning how to use my new producer software, and we'll have bells and whistles and all sorts next week. Take care, and I'll see you next week.